Hello people, it's Power here with a review of the Kamen 01 DX02 Progrise key and 02 driver unit. So this is the controversial final form of Kamen 01. I don't know why, but so yeah, this states that everything's CGI model because what even is physicality anymore? Honestly, this box is pretty huge because of the fact it comes with this entire section, the 02 driver unit and the 02 Progrise key. As we can see, Kamen 02, 02 Rise, Kamen 02. For some reason, it's still under Hidden Intelligence. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Another shot of 02. Then the bottom, I apologize if there's some like dirty stuff because it's just on the ground and obviously that's where bugs are. Everything you can do with it. Another shot of 02, so they at least gave us 2 pictures. So here's the entire set. Obviously we have the Progrise key right there, which we put on the side, off to the side, and here we have the 02 driver unit. So I think from what I know from the show, I have no credibility, because I only seen the first arc. From the show, this is not its own thing. The 02 driver, it's like in a separately new driver, but obviously because for our sake, it's just this unit piece because, you know, we need to do things, or we need to do things creatively, because, you know, we're not Heisei. Look at the saber. So, it comes packaged like this, with this part open already, but I don't know what you call this. Like, this is the opened mode of the unit without the cover, and the translucent neon yellow is actually really similar to Shining Hopper. If I can actually grab it back here, so I like this consistency. It would have been neat if Shining Hopper was actually like used, but we don't know how exactly other Progrise keys are used within this. But it's a piece of plastic essentially with a lot of springs, because obviously this is where you're going to, and this is how you're going to insert and take out the unit. There's a peg here for the 01 driver. There's a obvious 2 painted on the front, and then up here we got more red, and then here we have the same consistent chrome from the 01 driver, and here we have this triangular center with the red outline, and then again we got silver here and such. So that's really all the paint for it, and then you can slide it like so, and then bend the cover back because of compatibility. And yeah, that's literally it for the unit itself. Here's the Progrise key itself. Kamen Rider 02 is the name. Obviously, there's no such thing as abilities anymore. And again, it's in the same translucent yellow plastic. Speaker is interestingly in the back instead of in the front. And the batteries are here, and then you get this white back piece. I'm pretty sure that this is like an entire section within the Progrise key. And then the shape here is not shape, the color here is black, and obviously this part's supposed to represent satellite Zaya, or there. when we press the Progrise key, so the typical Progrise key button, it acts like Amazing Caucasus by automatically flipping, which is interesting for sure. There's the inside of the Progrise key, again with the red outline, and I want to say the digitized hopper. And you can tell, like, it's like a molded piece. It's just that from far away it looks really digitized. And then here's the cover, or cover flipped around. Obviously we get 02's face, and I like this sticker overall. It's really neat for a Progrise key. And then yeah, that's essentially it. Although, like, you press the button lightly, it won't trigger because of how it works and such, because it's literally just a lot like Caucasus. Last but not least, the QR code for Gamma is 032, and it's actually the same size as Rampage Gatling. This one was 026. I don't know what happened in between, but if you compare these two, they're actually like the same width, which is pretty interesting. So I just want to point that out, but obviously this main one I want to do a comparison with, Awakened Caucasus. Look how pretty this is. Obviously Caucasus is a standard Progrise key, so their like sizes aren't really the same, but then when we poorly extend the two, because we're not changing camera angle, obviously it's different, but Caucasus just, like, yeah, obviously I would just admit Caucasus works a lot better just because I think it's honestly just the button. The button just works a lot better and such. But with this one, you can cheat it and just slightly press it, as I'll show. And obviously, just like Caucasus, you can just pull it back and swing it and such. So let's get over with the sounds. And be careful because of the speaker. Actually, I'm gonna have to back away. So there we get the ability. And as you can tell, it's pulsating because it works the same like Caucasus. So we have 3 abilities for this one. So then after that we get 4 lines from Aruto. I'm pretty sure that was literally carried over from the Human Gear headset, because I don't think that was original at all. And then to show that you can press this without extending it. So yeah. Also, another thing that they happily added is that if you hold this down, I feel like it might extend. Aruto says Henshin, which I want to say is directly carried over from the Rockin' Hopper Zetsumaru's key, which is pretty neat. Such. And this is a weird thing I found. If I reset this, so technically you don't activate anything if you hold it down. Obviously he would do that, but then after you hold it down a second time, it will just activate. So I don't know why it does that specifically, but yeah. So again, like Caucasus, it will just be like this until it turns itself off. So let's just get the 01 driver. So here we have the 01 driver out, and now I don't understand why the instructions do this. I guess I understand why, because they don't want to break the illusion, but they want you to take a Progrise key and insert it to push the plate away, and then they want you to put the unit in, so then you can take the Progrise key out. That's honestly really stupid. I thought, because when I first saw Japanese reviewers doing that, I'm like, what the heck are you doing? But then when I realized it was in the instructions, I'm like, oh, I can't blame them. Because it's just really dumb. Because all you have to do is set your finger in the driver, either push this platform, push the pin in here, or push this button if you want the sounds for some reason. So like, just simply push that in and take it off. It's that simple. You don't have to you don't have to enter the Progrise key to make it say error rise, and then like have to be like, well shoot, how am I supposed to take the Progrise key out? Even though you could just push this section in, but no one will know that because, you know, we're not supposed to know that stuff. Yeah. So, okay, you want these two clips aligned, and you want to take the unit and extend it like this. I always find these kind of things confusing because it's just like, am I like, because like you have two ways of moving this, either this piece or this piece, and then when you move them both together, you start thinking, which piece am I actually moving? Am I moving this? Am I moving this? Am I actually moving both of them? Or am I just holding on to one piece and sliding it? Can I actually slide both pieces? Anyways, you want to clip this section down on the belt, and then you want to turn the belt around, because then you're going to press this down and jam this into that square of the belt. You want to make sure you're holding this at all times, because then it's not going to go in. And then that'll be the sound you get. So, you get that, and to finish the look, simply push the cover to the left. Now you have the Hiden 02 driver. I like it overall. I just think its only issue is just that this is too translucent, because this red is still present, and I just would have preferred, because this is supposed to cover this, but then it's not. Because I think the show because the show it's not as translucent, it just looks a lot better. And obviously you still have the 2 here, but then now you like I think the thing that sucks is that you don't have the 0 and 1 anymore. You have this like piece here which connects to the 2, and like that's it. Like, I just feel like this piece has no point anymore. But yeah, that's the complete look of the 02. And as you can see, this cover likes being loose because that's one of its major flaws. So to start the transformation sequence for 02, you want to flip the cover like so. But before we get to that, because I have to show this off, this still works the same like the 01 driver, so you just insert this like so. You still get the error rise, and as you can tell, the 02 Progrise key actually lights up like so. I should have just kept it like this, honestly, but obviously this, like, you still inject the Progrise key the same way. You slide the cover and this comes out and such, and this wants to come out. Okay, so to actually start the transformation sequence of 02, instead of the typical take, activate Progrise key, authorize it, and flip it out and such, you're actually going to flip this cover out and press it back here, because this section of the unit has a magnet which will then activate the driver. So press it back like so. So we get a new entire standby. And now we're going to activate the 02 Progrise key. And then obviously if you hold it down, and insert it like so. So there you get the transformation for Kamen 02, and now you have the entire full look of the 02 driver, which I really do like. Obviously the 02 Progrise key is really long, and I should state this too, that when you press the button you don't get any additional phrases of Aruto. I wish he at least said his like, the only one to defeat you is me phrase. But other than that, it's a DX toy, so I can't expect that. But yeah, I really like the look of this overall. And obviously, you get the finisher activating the same way. So you get the finisher of the 02 Big Bang, which this goes off longer than this thing. And obviously you get newness stuff. Obviously you can still do things like you can do with the 01 driver. However, it's technically not the way you're supposed to do it. Well, I'm pretty sure like scan the Progrise keys is the exact same, because yes I can like scan it and such, but that's not technically the way we're supposed to do it. And because this is getting released earlier than expected, I can't do that, because then I'm gonna have to re-record my Legend Rider videos, which I don't want to. So I'm gonna cheat the system by doing a really complicated way of doing the attacks, to which you slide this back, but you have to push the Progrise key so then it doesn't eject. And push this back until it activates. This is going to be a long process. So yep, that's how you complicatedly do the finishers with this piece, because, you know, you have to utilize this magnet somehow. I really wish that's how he did this, but then obviously he's going to use another Progrise key, because obviously there's room for it. But yeah, there's actually another method of doing the transformation, because that's literally if you just authorize this. Now, obviously, most people would flip this in, scan that. So really, the transformation is just with the Progrise, nothing different. And then I'll just show this one before I show normal Progrise keys, because obviously this works the same essentially. So obviously that's all the same and such. It's just that the timing of this one is still in the 1000 driver. However, if we use a normal Progrise key with like no knowledge of anything, so like if we just simply activate it, and then what? I don't have authorization? The battery died! Whoop. The battery died. So, basically, what I wanted to say is that I know people are going to be angry, like, you did it wrong. But, like, I'm doing it how you're supposed to do it. Because, essentially, the 02 driver is the 1000 driver. Because if I compare the two, if I can put this tab in Caucasus, here are the here's the thing, they're the same length, they're the same length, even though, like, one, they're not centered, but they are the same length. They have things, they both have both sides plugged, or they have both their ends plugged in, and the Progrise key sticks out. And obviously, I don't have good evidence as to how this is literally just a 1000 driver, other than the Progrise key obviously automatically opens and you don't need the authorization, because obviously you authorize this differently. So technically, you cannot use Progrise keys within this properly unless you do, you know, certain things. You can either be entirely inaccurate and just, you know, be used to what you're used to doing by activating the Progrise key and scanning it. But then the issue by doing that is that this piece becomes entirely useless then, which is why the method that you're actually supposed to do it by is that you're supposed to press this back, activate the Progrise key, then wave the Progrise key to this magnet, then insert it. So then there's using a normal Progrise key within the 02 driver. Obviously there's no Progrise sound because that's all in this toy and not within this, which really bugs me. But yeah. Okay, so obviously you can use all Progrise keys, but then that's gonna be a different video. To take this off, because technically this is its closed state, but they don't really tell you how. But what I figured out is that technically to manually slide this, press this button here that is just holding this white button here that's typically for those that typically holds this button, and like so. I think that's the purpose of this button, because then I don't really see, because if it's just supposed to hold it, I don't understand why it would be pressable, in my opinion. But anyways, to let that slide, press this, fold this in, and then simply eject it out like so, and take out that piece, and then slide back in, and now we're back at the 01 driver. So obviously, as you can see from the 01 driver, okay, so obviously you can see that top button, which the unit presses. However, this is going to be difficult for me to show. Whenever you press this platform in, which I will use this other light. So whenever you press the platform, another peg gets pushed in. Now I assume that's supposed to be because the original intended idea for an add-on is that it was supposed to make its own sounds, but for some reason, they just decided to make it a piece of plastic, because this has a hole specific for that peg, so then it doesn't like block anything and such. So I don't know if it's going to be a movie item where like he's going to still gain another power up, because as far as we know, I think the 01 driver is like completely like gone, unless they like make the remake the Hidden 02 driver, or they make it so it can switch between. They're most likely going to do that. Then I'm pretty sure there's actually going to be like another additional item that will actually produce its own sounds and such, and it'll essentially just become like a hazard trigger kind of deal and such. One last thing we will do with this is I will showcase this within the 01 driver, because technically this is for the 02 driver. Now, so you authorize it, and obviously press So obviously both of these will still say Progrise. You can do this. I messed up. So you can authorize it, activate it. And obviously, the thing, unlike with Thouser or Caucasus, obviously because this is meant for the 01 driver, the timing does not change. And for scanning using this. Make sure you're scanning up here. So yeah, that's it for this Progrise key within the 01 driver / 02 driver. So let's use it with everything else. I'll say the shot riser next, and just to show that this, when you press it, it doesn't open all the way. So. As you can see, the lights actually emit. Obviously, you don't get R2. So the "It's Never Over" gets played after everything, and obviously if you couldn't tell from the 01 driver and this, just like Rampage Vulcan, the blue screen actually does change up the lights a bit just because of the mix of blue. Still does that standby. Obviously, Vulcans. And yeah, that's it. I really like how this just looks. Force Riser. I really like how the lights time with this, and also technically you are supposed to press this, but the Force Riser is too finicky, so it already locks it. So again, it's LED's alright at best. I really wish this toy had a power-up. Like... no. This likes making this open. Obviously the Cyclone Riser. obviously it doesn't work as well, but the LED, oh, this just looks a lot better behind the gray or the silver. Well, I guess we're not getting that. Well, obviously we cannot activate this. If we do, then it's gonna do the transformation.
Progrise key confirmed. Ready to utilize. 02's ability. 02 attacks. Progrise.
Wait, what am I doing? Oh my gosh.
Progrise key confirmed. Ready to utilize. 02's ability. 02 Kamen trash. Charge rise. 02 charge. Full charge. 02 Kamen enemy.
This just looks interesting on a sword, but it's just like weird like curve thing.
Charge rise. Charge.
Oh. So, what do I think about the 02 Progrise key and 02 driver unit? I think this is a really interesting like set to end off of with 01, just because it's been a while since we actually did something like this. I'm happy that, like, I think for the Progrise key itself, I'll admit it's really underwhelming compared to Rampage Gatling. This toy like really like spoils you on like a final form kind of thing, just because of the amount of playability you can do with it. Well, this is just, it's a typical Progrise key. It's literally just Awakening or like Amazing Caucasus. So there's nothing really spectacular about it. Yeah, you get Aruto phrases, but I have a huge feeling that they were just taken straight out of the Human Gear module, which is really disappointing and lazy, if I have to be honest. I think the huge highlight of the set is definitely the 02 driver unit, just because we haven't done anything like that in a while. Because obviously we did that for Kugan and Agito, but then after that, like, we just stopped doing that and just, you know, dealt with like, here's a huge hunking thing has the final form thing. So like, I like that this is simple and such, which is, you know, we need, because it's Reiwa, we need to move on from Heisei, but that doesn't seem like the case. I just like the idea of this. I just think the unit is fun. Again, my only huge complaint about this is how flimsy this is. I really don't like this. I get it. I get it. It's because of this feature, but that does not mean you have to make a really flimsy case, because this is just like, This just isn't acceptable. Um, this is just like, it's so bad, if I had to say so myself. I guess I'll just say too, it's just nice that like, you know, like that second sound set within the 01 driver got utilized in the final form and not with like metal clusters link, because that's been happening, so, or that like happened with build. And I want to point out another series, but I don't know. I really don't know what other series technically did that. But the light, like I should mention too, like I really like the lights within this toy. I just like how it always lights up, and like there's a light here and then here. It's just, and it lights from the back too. I just really like that. But yeah. So the set overall is going to be like, I want to say it's going to be difficult, but not as difficult to find just because it's a final form item. I feel like after the show, it's definitely gonna like rocket in price. It might go up to 40. But I did get this off of Amazon Japan for like $30, which was about its retail price. I see it go for, or I think its original price it sold for was like around $40, which I'm like, eh. $30 is a good price for this, especially because that's typically the price for final form stuff. Because it's technically like 15-15, so yeah. Um, I guess I'm just gonna say this. I will not use this in in the remaining reviews, just because technically it's like the 1000 driver. You're not supposed to be able to accurately authorize the Progrise keys. But anyways, I'm running out of time, so this is Power, and I'll leave you people. Bye.